running, and you've got the risk to reward in purple. So you change it to purple, the lot calc in purple, and you've got that all important 1% risk there. Also, you've got your MT4 template, your Academy 55 template running in the background. And when you want to place a trade, you put it on lines, and then you can reverse it here, make sure all that good stuff works. And I like to keep 2 pips away before you enter the buy. So where it says SL21, this works, by the way, this works on EUR USD. On the US 100 it'll be slightly different, but we'll explain that as when we do go on for that sort of trade. But yeah, make sure you got your risk to reward in purple, your lot calc in purple. I like to have this button here in purple in case I need to close all trades. Next, I'm going to show you how you can use the Academy 55 indicators on TradingView. So here is a quick 2-minute video to explain how the sell and the buy Academy 55 indicator works. Here we can see a sell situation on the EUR USD on the 1-minute time frame. So what we do is we wait for the trend line to go red, the volume ribbon to go red, the wave to go red, and the parabolics are above price. Wait for all those 4 conditions. Then we get the short position tool and we put the stop loss would be there because that is the closest to the entry. Making sure you're a minimum of 2 pips away from your entry minimum. Could be a bit more than that, but the green wave turns to the red there, and that is closest to the entry. Then you go for your 2 to 1, and as you can see, that one was successful. And here we have the same situation. Just realized I was on mute. Oh dear, sorry. Thank you for staying on. Done it again, haven't I? Yeah, I'd just say I drew this trend line. We've got a buy zone down here. So I'd only be interested in taking buys. Got all that time on mute. Sorry about that. I do apologize. Only they had a little alarm. I don't think they have. But you're all on with me, so that's good. Still good news. Nice to see so many people here today. So that trend line keeps bouncing on that trend line I drew. And I'll only be interested in taking buys, but we're waiting for another buy alert now. I won't be interested in the sell. It's just too risky. All the probabilities. It's Tuesday, the 28th of January. It's now 17 minutes past 8 in the morning. Hope you're all having a nice day wherever you are. Sorry, I do occasionally go on mute. Sometimes it technically mutes me, and I'm not aware of it. And sometimes I mute because I'm doing some playing something else and forget to take it off again. I do apologise. We haven't missed nothing, no. I'm not in any trade or nothing. And hopefully you saw my technical analysis where I drew this trend line on the higher time frame. And if it breaks there, a deeper sell will probably be taking place. But we got all these buy zones here, very precarious. Let's switch over quickly. So this is where I'd want to put my stop loss. Now I'm going by getting the next, well, if it carries on up, I'm going by getting the next buy alert. And I won't be doing nothing until I get that. But that could happen quite quickly because we have buy, sell. The next one is a buy anyway. You can't get a sell and then another sell. Our indicators don't work like that. I wouldn't want to be taking sells because of the buy zones down there and that trend line I keep referring to. But if price goes under that trend line, then it'll either come back to meet it and then go down again. That's what I would, that's a scenario I think could happen. But the trend line's green now. That's good. So we are waiting just for the buy alert, really. I suggest price will probably have to be up here somewhere. If it does, and then we could be in a buy. Trend line is green, volume ribbon is green, wave is green at the minute. But 80% of the time we see this nonsense here, sideways movement that happens 80% of the time. So shouldn't be so surprised to see that. Indeed, we're not. Have a quick flip on the 5-minute and see stalling, price stalling. Possibly picking up buy orders until it maybe shoots off this way. Back down to the minute. And so we're in this situation where we are ready to go. Once we get once price gets up around this area, if it does, breaking out of the consolidatory nature of the price. But more consolidation is in order. So we lie in wait. And if price gets below here, a lot deep, I suggest a lot deeper sell could take place. I will not be taking that, activating off that sell there because of the buy zones. Pick your probabilities. I'm not sure. I was saying lots of things just now, but I'm not sure whether I was on mute or not, so I'll repeat them. So apologies if I have already said this, but because we have such a small target that we go for, we can pick the best times to trade during the day or what we think is the best times today with the best probabilities. And this sell ain't one of them because of the buy zones. So therefore, you shouldn't be in a situation where you need or desperate for a trade. You wait for the best probabilities for yourself. And you, just because you waited for the best probability, you could be subject to losing a 1%, but it's a 1%. And at the moment, I'm about 7%, 7.4, I think, on my monthly target. Target is between 10 and 12%, as you know. My monthly target is, and that is sufficient to make a happy trader, should we say? Um, so we've got a few days left. But even even after a few days, if I still stick at 7.4% for the month, that is $7,400 on a $100,000 prop firm account, which in turn is somewhere about £5,700 UK, which is fine by me. Now, it's very easy to get into this game and carry on trading, carry on trading. It's like when you're in a casino. You have a bit of a win. That's for most people, that's the worst thing they can do is have a little bit of a win when they first start, because they'll carry on and give all the money back to the casino. 95% of people do, instead of, oh, thanks very much, and go and see a show or something and not bother with the fruit machine. It's it's our mentality. It's not your fault. That's the way we're wired up. But price action is not wired up that way. Price action is wired up like the casino owner and wants to take all your money. But we have an insider advantage where we know that if price does go down here, it's very precarious because of the buy zones we see. So therefore, I only would be want to take buys. And we can see all the sideways action. You any trading system you've got, they don't operate in sideways movement. Just pure luck whether you win or lose. We want a trending or a mini trending market at least. We haven't got one. Not yet. Not until prices above here. And it might not happen. We might be on this deeper sell, which I won't be participating in because of what I've already mentioned. So we can do nothing anyway till price swallows that parabolic SAR if it does and flips below. But as you can see, we can all see the sideways movement. I mean, that's quite very, very obvious to anybody. So we've got to wait to break clear of all that nonsense. It's picking up orders. Ruling everybody out, but hopefully not us. I'll keep a very heavy eye on it and play this, I think.
Hi, this is Steve with a very short video to show you where to get the training for the indicators and tools we use inside Academy 55. So once you're logged into the members area, you'll see in the premium dashboard this section that's entitled Start Learning, and if you click here, that'll take you through to the learning library. Now, we'll say at this point, we highly recommend you watch each of these videos 2 or 3 times to get a full understanding of how everything works. Here you'll find tutorials on using the MT4 Trade Assistant and how to use the MT4 platform with the Trade Assistant. This is the longest video you'll find inside the platform. It's around 30 minutes long, well worth your time. Watch the video once, then maybe write a few questions down that you might have for yourself, and watch the video for a second time, and things will really start to make sense. By the time you watch it 3 times, you'll fully understand how everything works. So that's the longest video. It's about 30 minutes long, well worth your time, and then you can jump into individual trainings here for how to remove indicators. These videos are just a couple of minutes long. How to move MetaTrader around like you can in TradingView, Trading Assistant controls, how to do back testing in TradingView, how to draw vertical lines to mark out your hour, and so much more. And by the time you watch this video or see this video, there might be other trainings in this section. But everything here is well worth your time, and you find that, as I said a moment ago, from the main dashboard in the Start Learning section. Now, one more thing just to mention here. If you're looking for anything in particular, if you come down to the support name of FAQs, click on Get Support, and in this area you'll find a detailed FAQ section, and you can come through here. For example, if you're looking for an answer to a question about MetaTrader, have a look through these, and once you click through you'll find direct links to videos that give you answers to most of the questions that we get asked on a regular basis. So hopefully you found this useful, and back to your further training.
Okay, thanks, Steve. So in the meantime, oh look, we've broken that trend line. So the scenario is we could very well be going down to this buy zone down here, but it's very precarious because we're in a buy zone area. At any time, price could come down as much as it wants to, and then come back and respect this trend line, because this trend line could act as resistance then, and then carry on back down again over time. So I do think maybe deeper sells are going to be happening now because of this. Again, if I go on the daily, we have got an area down here a long way away that needs to be filled on the daily time frame. All this area here, if I take this indicator off, get my pointy tool, it's a long way away, but this area here is there's been all buying power on this side of the and all buying power on this side of the candle. So therefore that needs to be, this area here needs to be leveled up. But that's a long way away yet, but nevertheless it needs to be leveled up. Price loves balance. But now doing that it's creating its own imbalance up here. They're looking at the longer term view. Is the dollar basically, because the EUR is getting weak, is the dollar going to get stronger over the next month? So forcing the EUR down to indeed fill out that imbalance, or momentarily will the dollar get a bit weaker over the next couple of weeks, maybe, to facilitate filling out and that sell imbalance that we saw. All very interesting, but it doesn't help us at the moment. So this could very well, this trend line here now could be very well where the buck stops, and then they just play along here for a while, and then maybe fill out. Well, we haven't got smaller imbalances on the 5 minute, have we? Because they've all been filled. But indeed, we've got a tiny bit of imbalance on that candle there. So indeed, they might have the option to fill that up and then come back down. But anyway, put my indicators back on. This is the scenario we want to see. Only interested in buys. So I'm back on my MT4. And we're back to where we were a few minutes ago. Now everything's red. We want it green. But like I said, I've seen the imbalance up here on the 5 minute time frame. Can we see it there? No. No. Ah, it's further over, that's why. Put it on the minute. Go back to the there we go. Yeah, it's imbalance at 7:30 yesterday. No, no. Oh, sorry, that's a minute, isn't it? So I do apologize. Yeah, we've got 5 minute imbalance just a little bit here on created at 2 o'clock this morning. And indeed, that needs to be sorted if indeed they do intend to have a deeper sell taking place. But when they do it, they might be doing it in the New York Open or even later than that, next Asian session. So go back to MT4. Right. That's where I want my stop loss. Ultimately, the volume ribbon is in the position where it's going to turn green at any time. Also, the trend line is. But we want that all important. Very tricky, isn't it? Tricky trading conditions today. But with a little bit of experience and the help of the indicators, at least you realize how tricky it can be and why we must be patient and wait for the right moments, situations. All right, we've got a buy alert now. Volume ribbons just turned green. Trend line could be turning green at any time. I think I'm going to wait for it to go past there. Then I could be in for a buy. I'm already at 3.8% stop loss. But I'm going to wait for it to go past there, I reckon, to break out all that noise. If it does. And by that time, I'm more or less, the trend line will be turning green again. But I'll be patient because of the action of price. See, the price is very jittery and There's no sort of trending. It's very choppy. So I want a little bit more confirmation of this buy. And I'm trading that off with a stop loss to entry. I mean, I might be like 5 or 6 pips by the time I get my confirmation that I need. But that's being safer. Now I'll be looking for price to definitely get above there. Continue on the buy if it does. And hopefully by then enough volume will kick in to carry me on towards my 2%. But as you can see, it's just going down there, and so I don't have to keep moving that all the time. It's just floating around. And now it's more shenanigans. It's a good word, isn't it? Shenanigans. More sideways action. Surprise, surprise. Picking up more buy orders, no doubt. A stop loss is an order, a buy or a sell order. I mean, this nonsense here with this sell. Good job we didn't activate that. Could be exactly the same as this nonsense we see with the buy. I mean, it just carry on here for a long, long time yet. Or we might get a trend going. We're after that important confirmation that we are. Trying to trade in sideways movement is not fun at the best of times. But for you guys, it's important to experience and have the confidence in knowing what you're seeing and realizing how difficult it is to trade in these conditions because of all this side stuff. Because this happens, like I say, 80% of the time. Usually at this time of day, we have a little bit more of a trending stuff going on. More often than not, but obviously not today. Or it might be we're too early and it might happen 10, 11 o'clock, where they might have made their decision what they're going to do and trend it a bit more. But usually 8 times out of 10 is between 8. Oh, right. Waiting for that buy alert. Oh, we got the buy alert, haven't we? Right, we're above. That's good. It's coming back again. So I say I want it above there, just to be. Yep, I'm going for a buy. There we go. Going for the buy and accepting a 1% loss if indeed that is what happens. Oh, unfortunately, I didn't get in there. I got in here, which will take my 2% to just above. That's right, it was just above, wasn't it? Let's have a look again. I got a 4.7 pips stop loss. I know that because it says 47, 4.7 pips. By the time I got my confirmation that I wanted to get in. But we, like I say, are we going to have more yet sideways? I was hoping we could get a bit more of a trend going on, but I might be fooled out. And if I'm fooled out, so be it. I've got a 1% loss on my hands, which is no big deal. But we're in the trade. I think it looks a bit like that. Yeah, we're right in the middle. See, if I'd have waited to up there, I'd have had like an 8 or 9 pip stop loss, which is just I'd rather not trade it. So accepting a 1% loss, if indeed that is what's going to happen. And really, we're not trending market at all. It's a sideways market. In reflection, it's a bit silly to trade a sideways market. But I was anticipating maybe a bit of a trend going up to the purple line, but it's stalled again. It might be going up to there. But at the same time, big enough to accept the 1% loss if that's indeed what we're going to get. And maybe come back later on. Maybe we look at the US 100 this afternoon and see if it's trending or going sideways. If it's going sideways, again, stay out of it and come back again tomorrow and just accept the 1% loss, which I think is probably going to happen. Unfortunately. Oh, there we go. So close. Oh well. We give it a go. But the market is terrible to trade. That's the truth of it. And there we go. A 1% loss, unfortunately. And that's trying to trade in a sideways moving market and trying to anticipate a trend going, which, even though I was being a bit more cautious and waiting to go above here, it didn't materialize. And I paid the price with a 1% loss. But that's trading. Like I said, no big deal really. And I might come back later on today, depending on how I feel and my daily schedule, and if I can see the market trending later on this afternoon, maybe. But you wouldn't want to go again after knowing now that you are in sideways movement. The only way you'd want to go again is if you were a crab going sideways all the time. But no. With that being said, though, any trading system wouldn't be able to operate in conditions like that. It's just ridiculous. But I was, by waiting for price to go just above this area here, hoping that we had indeed broke into a bit more of a trend going up. But as you can see, that wasn't the case. We had more of the same. I paid the price, 1% loss, no big deal. So the trick is to recognize the conditions you're trading in and act accordingly. And that's what they call experience. So with that being said, guys, thanks very much for being on today. I do appreciate it, and have yourselves a really great day. So see you again. Cheers for now. Bye. Good morning, Academy 55. This is my second trade of the day. We've been in the buy zone, and I've activated a buy. I have a 6.1 pip stop loss to entry, but this is where I want to be with my stop loss. And we'll see how this progresses. We've been in the buy zone. Let's have a look. Let's put it on the 5-minute time frame. This is the old buy zone that we were. As you can see, we've been in that now. This is another buy zone on the 5-minute. We actually try to anticipate the buy and going into that buy zone. It didn't work. So now I'm on this one now, and hopefully we will trend up towards this area here. This is where I am, long position. I've got a 6.1 pip. My stop loss is down there, and I'm 6.1 pips, so that'll be there then, which takes my 2% up to there into this sell zone. So price gets to here or there, I reckon I'm going to put my stop loss to my entry, because I know we're entering the sell zone then. But we've got all this sideways movement, so trading is difficult conditions for trading, but I'm trusting my indicators to maybe hopefully get me out of the situation. We will have to wait and see. So that's where I am. Well, as you can see, nothing is happening really, really fast. So I thinking to myself that rather than being in a trade for long and waiting for maybe news to happen, good or bad, at the moment, once I get to 1%, that might be enough for me, and say, you know what, get out of the trade rather than being in it for an awful long time. Because the longer you're in a trade, the more you are exposed to news. And that news could be good or bad. So if I lower my expectations down to 1%, which is just there, price could come up to respect that purple line and then carry on doing what it's doing, or indeed it might go up to 2%, but I'm exposing my capital, in the trade and all that, and I might decide. I've actually decided to do that. Once it gets to 1%, if it gets to 1%, I'll be happy with that, and then that'll be the way to go for me, and that'll alleviate being in the trade too long, if indeed that is what's going to happen, because nothing's moving really, really fast, and the longer you're exposed in a trade, the more chance there is for good or bad news, and that's more akin to gambling. So I think that's what I'm going to do. It's going to just go for the 1% rather than 2%, and what will be will be. We'll see. And as you just saw, I got my 1%. I'm quite happy with that. It very well might go on to get my 2%, but you know what? I can come back later on today, maybe, or maybe not. But so I'm happy with the situation, and that's it. Cheers for now. Bye.